What do you think are some of the best benefits or qualities that you think the Boys and Girls Club, especially in your community, has brought to the community and to the kiddos?
Belonging. I think that the club shows the community that they, regardless of, where you come from, what your background is, your family, of origin, you step foot inside of a Boys and Girls Club and you know that you're at a place that's home. And I think that that's one of the most special things about the club, whether you're, a little kid, going to elementary school programming, or you're a recent grad who has gone through college bound. The fact that, we really focus on people's lives makes a huge difference. It's not something, not to speak poorly about any other programs, but I think that the Boys and Girls Clubs are really unique in the commitment that they have to ensuring that people feel safe. They feel like they have a place where they'll be heard and they can develop their skills and their interests in a place where, you've got adults like yourself or me when I, luckily when I was fortunate enough to be able to work, who are super passionate and inspired by the kids every day. They were the reason why I came to work.
That's one thing I remember too, because when I went as a kid, I was a club kid. When I went, it was just me. My little sister at the time was too young; she was still at home, and I remember being so nervous. But one thing I do remember is all of the the youth staff and the program leaders. They were always just open arms and, like you said, making me feel like I was welcomed and I belonged, even though I had a different background from the other kids that were already there or I've been there for years. And that's one thing I really remember.
I love that. That's so special. And as a kid, in your formative years, to know that there's a place for you makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Especially, if it's a family, if you're from a family background, things aren't great at home or things are chaotic in certain areas of your life, coming to the club and being able to have that is so impactful, I think.
Absolutely. I heard a statistic at one point in time that one of the biggest predictors of success for a young person is just having one trusted adult outside of your family that believes in you, that you can speak to. And I feel like the Boys and Girls Club provides that for every kid that walks through the door. And, luckily, even though I didn't have a club, I had sports. That was my thing. But I just think back to, man, like if I didn't have sports when I was little, like what would my life have looked like?
Right. So tell me, you worked with the Boys and Girls Club. What area, what community were you in?
That I did. So I worked for the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Peninsula in the Bay Area. So we covered Eastern Menlo Park, Redwood City, and East Palo Alto. So growing up, I'm from Palo Alto. East Palo Alto is right across the freeway. And I never had the opportunity to go to a Boys and Girls Club when I was young. And so as an adult, when I found my way there in more of a professional setting, I just, it blew my mind, the fact that that was something that I'd missed out on as a kid. And I was so excited that I got to provide opportunities for youth that I didn't have when I was little.
Yeah, I was going to say, so you started having the experience as more of a role model mentor.
Mm-hmm.
What was your role with the club and how long did you work with them?
Yeah, so my years at the club, I was there for about 3 years. That was my catalyst for my career, to be honest. So a little backstory, right after college, I worked for a couple different tech companies in different parts of the world and found my way to the Boys and Girls Club because I really wanted to do more for the community and in the social impact space. So I started implementing a program called Hack the Hood. It was a partner program with an organization up in Oakland called Hack the Hood, providing like real life business opportunities for youth. So they learned how to become consultants and build websites for local small businesses for free, which was a really great foray from what I've been doing before. And then I ended up working as our high school program manager for the greater part of about a year and a half, 2 years. And I finished up as the director of our career pathways program. So we were really focused on looking at alternative post-secondary pathways for youth who were not necessarily immediately 4-year bound. trying to teach them about the opportunities within the vocational education space. Did a lot of on-sites and summer internships with our local tech community. So it was really fun. Some of my favorite work I've ever done. The kids made a mark on me, and I'm really, really glad that I was able to do that for the time that I did.
What other, aside from, Hack the Hood and the sports programs that a lot of the clubs have, it's pretty consistent with a lot of them. What other projects or activities were ones that stuck out to you or that you thought were important?
Oh, Keystone.
Um,
Keystone. Oh, my heart is with Keystone. Yeah. So Keystone Leadership Program for our high school students was one of the coolest things that I think I got to be a part of when I was there. So we ended up, I think at our height, we had 30 some odd youth who were coming in on Saturdays and Sundays, looking to make a difference in their community. And the fact that Keystone not only teaches character and leadership development to kids, but then provides them with the tools and the support that they need to actually enact change within their community. I think that agency and kids being able to really see that they can make a difference is just, I've never seen anything like it. It was so cool.
Did you notice that from the beginning, like their voices or their behaviors would become more confident and I guess supported like over time?
Oh yeah. So I mean, we had our Keystone Club. We had freshmen all the way up to seniors, and it was really cool over the years to see that the way that the group developed, their voice, their confidence, and even the art of possible. Like you could see how their brains just started to expand when they understood more of the context of how things are and why they are, and for them to understand that they don't always have to be this way if we're not cool with it. Just watching that that growth was incredible. And now that I'm not at the club anymore, I'm still connected to some of my youth, and I'm looking back to one of my mentees we made her our Keystone president as a freshman, which was a big deal.
Wow. As a freshman, yeah, because that's the youngest that they would start at, right? Oh my God.
Exactly. So, she really kind of built with us, and now she's starting college, and it's just this most full circle, incredible story, seeing this powerful young woman, who's found her voice, and just, it was truly a launching platform for her.
It totally blossomed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's an awesome story. Are there any other stories that you want to share or that that you've held on to?
Oh, countless. I'm just, I see, it's funny because you ask for stories and I see faces. So I'm just, I'm remembering all of these moments that I've had with, the kids over the years. I could share a couple. One, a student of mine, his name was Ulises, was an incredibly talented audio engineer. So he loved to make beats, and he was in this, that's why he came to the club. We had a music studio, so he was able to use our equipment. And because he became teen staff, and then we taught him about social media marketing, and he was able to kind of combine all of these interests. I was able to connect him with a person working at iHeartRadio in New York. And so he flew out and did an internship with her. Was his first time on an airplane.
Oh my God.
First time, I think, out of state. And that was it was one of my proudest moments to see him really take that opportunity and grow. Another student, let's see, Des is now leading, is a leading voice within youth at, well, not even youth anymore. My goodness, he's a junior in college now, but he's a leading voice on campus at Menlo College. He's put together a TEDx talk for his student body, which was formally sanctioned, I believe, by TED. He has been leading protests, peacefully. He's just truly like wow, that kid really, really grew a lot, and he's matured so much over the years.
It's really cool to hear those stories.
And as you're saying that, other thing that I'm thinking about is I think the stability. Like that the club provides. It's just such a pillar of the community, you know, regardless of, because we spoke about belonging earlier. And, you know, I think in a chaotic world, you know, especially 2020 and the realities that we're facing right now, to be able to still know that no matter what, you have this space, you have the building and it is yours, and you have your staff and they are there for you. It's just, I think that having that one thing in their lives that could be truly stable and they could depend on made a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. It's really impactful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I really I want to share these stories, and for people, that are even around our age, or young parents, or even, even moms and dads and grandparents, who have had kids that went through the club or have never had any, experience or known of what type of stories the club has, produced. I wanted to share that with others. So I'm really glad you did this with me. Thank you so much.
Thank you for putting time and effort into this. This is great.